Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters, welcome to my Luxe brush favorites video. So I did my cheaper brush favorites and I use air quotes because like in Australia some of them aren't really that cheap or affordable. But this video is going to be my Luxe and more expensive makeup brushes. I'm going to go through them by brand, and I will say with every, or not every, but with some of the brands that I feature in this video, I'm going to start with Rae Morris. I do have more brushes in that particular brand or from that particular brand, but I can't feature them all because it's going to take hours and hours and hours because I kind of get a bit rambly and gushy over these things. Like, I fucking love them. This is like eyeshadow palettes and Luxe makeup brushes. Oh, mate, it's a weakness. I literally have almost no self-control, so it's a problem. I'm only going to talk about my favorites of the favorites because I pretty much love almost all of my high-end brushes. So starting with Rae Morris. Now, Rae Morris is an Australian makeup artist. She is quite famous, and I have seen her in action in person, and she is an absolute sweetheart of a person, and she's got some skills. She also has a very nice makeup brush range. Now, in Australia, this brush range is now exclusive to Mecca Cosmetica, so you can't purchase online. However, if you are from the US, you can purchase these online. Also, if you're from New Zealand, you got to go to Mecca to get any of these, which isn't it's not completely bad, but it's not completely great for two reasons. Good, because you go in store, you can touch the brushes, you can feel them, you can like look at them and go, too big for my face, too small for my face, perfect for my face. You know, that's fantastic. Anytime you can buy brushes in person, it's the best time to buy because you can judge for yourself whether that brush is going to be suitable for you and the type of things you like to apply to your face, the way you apply them, your face shape, all that jazz. Not great because Mecca doesn't really have sales. They do at the end of the year, but I wouldn't expect them to be discounting Rae Morris brushes. And on the Rae Morris website, occasionally, I know you can get a 10% sign up discount, and I think I've seen sales at certain times of year on the website. So, you know, we miss out on that not being able to shop online. But it is what it is. She's in store now, so I assume she has to have an exclusivity contract with Mecca. Now, Rae Morris brushes are called the Jishaku brushes, and Jishaku translates to magnet. And that is because at the bottom of the brushes there is a magnet, so they respond to each other. They will like stick together and all sorts of stuff. They will respond to a magnet. You can buy a like a rectangular frame that these will stick to. I have one from a different brand. I do not want to show it in this video, and I do not want to mention it because I do not like the fact that they ripped off a very unique idea from Rae Morris, and she created it. I don't know if it was patented or what. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I don't like to support brands that directly rip off other brands. That's a personal thing. Anyway, so I have here some Jishaku brushes, and I have some from before they were called Jishaku brushes. They're all magnetic. They've always been magnetic, which is great. But let's get into it. So goat hair brushes. These are my goat hair favorites. We'll start with the one that I keep showing you guys. This is the number 22, and let me just find the actual name of this. Okay, this is called the Pro Powder Brush, and I might be having to look some of these up while I go through this video to give you the exact name, because Rae Morris no longer prints the name of her brushes on her handles. She used to. So they used to look like this with the number of the brush and the name of the brush. And now they just look like this with the number of the brush. So the 22 Pro Powder Brush. This is goat hair and also PTT, which is it's a synthetic hair that I struggle to pronounce. But the idea with the PTT fibers is that they are slightly irregular, so they pick up product really well. The handle is a hard maple and cherry combination, and the ferrules are metal, which I believe is the case across all of the Jishaku range. With the pre-Jishaku brushes that I have, I do not know what their handle is made of. I'm very sorry. This is a beautiful tapered fluffy blending or powder brush. I have used this for powder. I've used it for highlight. I particularly like this for putting on the ambient lighting powders from Hourglass, like dusting them in big areas across my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead. You can also use it to bronze, you can use it for blush, any big job that you want to be soft and diffused, it is beautiful. This is great though for simply doing like powder all over the face. Because of the taper tip, you can get in under the eye and it doesn't cake on a fuck ton of product, but it is also big enough that you can like do the whole face. Really nice. These are very soft brushes. I will say this about Rae Morris brushes. They are not the softest brushes I have ever felt, but they are very, very effective. Softest brushes that I personally own and have ever felt in my makeup or brush buying life are Hakuhodo. I'll get into them later. But that is a beautiful brush, and I think if you are looking for a really luxe powder brush, and you do want to be able to go in store if you're in Australia or New Zealand and buy it, that is a good one to look at. This one here is the number 27 Mini Radiance. Now for me, this is not mini. I use this as a foundation application brush, and you can see it is a fluffy. These are natural bristles, so they will discolor a little bit as you use it. It is what it is. Typically, from my experience, and I'm not 100% sure why this is, but I have a little bit of idea. Natural hair bristles are not typically used for the application of cream or liquid products, and I believe that is because it can damage the bristles quicker than they would be normally when used with just powder products. But this has held up beautifully with foundation application, and I will say this now, and I'll feature a few more throughout this video. These are my favorite types of brushes to apply foundation with. Sponges, fine, I like it, but I think these do a better job, these natural hair foundation brushes. Synthetic foundation brushes, I absolutely despise them. They just make my foundation look terrible, always streaky, never a nice flawless application. So if you do prefer to use a brush to apply your foundation, and you find that like some of the most popular ones are like the Real Techniques buffing brush and stuff like that, if you find that they always leave your foundation streaky, you might want to consider something from a much more high-end, luxe and expensive, I'm very sorry, brand. I don't know why. I don't know why these work so beautifully and the synthetics don't. It's just something about it, they're just amazing. When I do makeup on other people and I'm doing, like, let's say I'm doing a young, like, okay, my cousin, I did her wedding last year. When I was doing the foundation of her and all of her bridesmaids, I just used a sponge because it was so quick and so easy. And then when I had the mothers of the bride and the groom sit in my chair, it was super, super luxe foundation brushes, because I find that these just, something about them just like, it's like a match made in heaven. It's like they're making love to your skin with the foundation. It sits so much nicer, especially if you've got like textured skin. I've got like big pores. I've got, you know, signs of aging. I don't know what it is, but these brushes and more that I will show you in this video, they just work so, so beautifully with skin and foundation. It's just like, I love it. It's beautiful. And I'm a convert. Like, these are amazing. Something I will say about the Rae Morris brush, this particular one, it sheds. It sheds a lot. Every single time I use it. I have had this brush for over a year. Wait, maybe 2 years? No, it's over a year. It's just a year. But every single time I use it to apply my foundation, it sheds. So that is a problem. For me, I put up with it because it is what it is. I can't stop it. I still get beautiful results, but it sheds. So keep that in mind. I will show some that don't shed coming up. This one here is the number 6 Pro Blender. So this I like to use as a highlighting brush. So it's a nice soft one. It's got, you know, nice, not flimsy, but the bristles have good movement on the tip. And then it's like denser at the base. So you can use this for blush, highlight, I mean, pretty much anything. If you need to do small blending in areas, this is a really nice brush. Now this is from pre-Jishaku pre-Jishaku era of Rae Morris brushes. So the handle looks a little bit different, but everything else is the same. It is a beautiful, beautiful brush. I love it for highlighting, like just amazing. Here I have pencil point shaders. These are the 9.1 brushes. Now I want to show you Jishaku and pre-Jishaku. So you can see there have been changes with her brushes since the rebrand, or the, you know, I don't know what to call it. She overhauled her line and there were changes. So these are both goat hair, and this one here is, you know, a little bit smaller and a little bit more detailed or precise than the original. I like them both. I think they're both very effective. I love pencil brushes for getting under here in the corner and doing like really sort of small, if I want to apply like the tiniest bit of black to like my lower lash line and really smoke it out. These are the types of brushes that I use. So if you've got small eyes and you're looking for small brushes, something like this is great. Then we move into the squirrel hair brushes. Now I have two here. I've got the number 7, which is, I don't know, let me find out. All right, this is the Deluxe point shader. That is, like, I really like it when brands just have the whole name of their brush on a brush. It makes my job easier, especially when I want to tell you guys about it and be like, this is a fucking great blending brush. Now this is this is the sort of brush that I would consider great for everyone. Big eyes, small eyes, medium eyes, hooded eyes, monolids, everyone. Every single person who has eyes and applies eyeshadow, this is a great brush. So it's got a slight point at the tip. So if you want to, you can keep everything sort of contained to just doing crease work. You can tip it a little bit on its side and pat eyeshadow onto the outer corner. You can also give it a little bit more of a press and really like buff and smoke things out. This is fantastic. This is just like do everything type of brush. Nice and dense, but with a good, like, you know, good movement at the tip. It's soft, but it's also, it's got its own resilience to it. So it's not gonna like smush on your face if you give it a little bit of extra pressure to sort of really fluff things out. It's just, it's a great one. I really like it. And then we have one that is similar. This is the medium, yes, medium point shader, number 8. Very similar. This is like the little sister, okay? You see, oh, focus. So you can see it's kind of like the little sister to this guy. Now, if you have small eyes like me and you like to do, you know, you want to put something in the outer corner, or you've got a really deep crease and you, like me, I like to take just a tiny bit of my outer corner color and like bring it into my crease, but I don't want it going everywhere. I don't want to like, you know, blow it out. I just want it to add a tiny bit of depth to my crease, so I've got that crease definition, and then when I close my eyes, I've got like that really pretty sort of curved shape. Something like this, perfect, because it will go in there and it won't push product where you don't want it. It will keep it contained, but it blends beautifully. Again, you've got the density of the bristles, but the flexibility. This one is a bit stiffer than this one, simply because the hairs are shorter and more sort of compacted at the base. So that is going to make any brush feel a little bit more stiffer and not have as much flexibility in the tip. Moving on to a synthetic brush that I really love from Rae Morris. This is the number 16 Brow Definer. So you can see there it is an angled brush and it doesn't look super skinny. However, once this is packed up with product, that line, the like straight down the center, the bristles become razor thin. So you can use this to apply brow powder or gels or like pomades. You can also use it to apply gel liner for your eyes, like doing a wing. So I use it for both. I think it's a great high-end all-rounder angled brush. So if you're looking for something that you can use on both your brows and your eyes with like giving a really nice crisp line, this is a great one. So you can use it in your brows to sort of like fluff things up, and it's not so thin that you can't, like, it's going to take you forever to do your brows. But if you want to, you can pack it up with product. You can press it on like your hand or a palette or the inside cap of like your brow product or your eyeliner, and you can get a really razor sharp edge to it, and you can do a wing liner that will cut a bit, or you can mimic hairs in your brow. That is a really good little brush. Not too fat, not too thin. You can make it go either way. Wayne Goss. Now, I do not have many Wayne Goss brushes. The ones that I do have, I have received from the Beautylish Lucky Bags. But I know people are going to ask me about them, so I am going to talk about what I have, and I'm going to tell you why I like them. So I have the eye set. He had like 3, or brow set, maybe it was a brow set. He had 3 brushes in like a really nice black tube that you could buy, and this is them. So there is the, oh my god, there's no, oh there we go, the number 22. So this is like a brow comb. You've got the bristles on the edge here. I think these might be boar. Let me check. Okay, he doesn't list the brush hair type. I feel like there might be boar, but I can't be 100% sure. Anyway, I really like it when brands list the brush hair type, because it can help teach you about hairs can do for your face and makeup application. Anyway, let's get into it. The comb part, so this side here, I don't really like it. I don't like plastic tooth eyelash combs, okay? I just don't think they're as effective as the metal ones. It's just me. The brush side though, ooh, I really like it. When you're buying like these like brow combs or brow brushes, I think the best ones are the ones where the bristles are very dense and quite firm, but they have good flexibility, so they're not going to rip out any hairs. But the density, there's got to be a lot of bristles in there. Let's see if we can show you. Stop focusing on my face. Lots of bristles. Lots and lots and lots of bristles. So I really like that one. I think it's a fantastic brush. I use it all the time. It is great. There is a little spoolie in there. Honestly, guys, this is just a spoolie, but it feels fancy as fuck because of the design of it. It is very sleek. It comes to this beautiful sort of point between the handle and the actual spoolie, so it feels luxe. It feels really nice, but it's just a spoolie. Don't get excited. Then we have the number 21. This is the like brow sort of color application brush. Now, from what I can tell, these hairs in these two brushes are exactly the same fiber. And this feels so much stiffer because they are more densely packed and they are cut shorter, so you don't get the flexibility at the tip. This applies product beautifully. This is a fantastic, fantastic brow brush. I really like it. I would say this is my favorite like brow application brush out of all of them that I have, even my Hakuhodo one. Next we have the number 14 brush, and this is basically a highlighting brush. That's what I use it for. This is made out of goat, and you can tell that this is Hakuhodo. You can tell, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it in the bristles. It is so soft and so smooth and so luxuriously beautiful. Great little brush. It's just a highlighting brush. I mean, you can use it for blush if you wanted to. You could even use it to contour, actually. I might try that. But I do like Wayne Goss brushes. Oh, don't break them. So all in all, I do really like Wayne Goss brushes. I would love to buy more, and I do plan on doing that at some stage in the future. I very recently spent a small fortune on Hakuhodo though, so I'm just taking a break from buying more brushes. But I think they're fantastic. They're beautiful quality. I understand why people love them. I love what I have, and I'm sure if I bought more, I would love them. So if you are wondering about Wayne Goss quality, yep, it's there. It's good. And I think they're definitely worth checking out if you are interested in them. My next two brushes are, look, maybe not something I should talk about in this video because I don't even know if you can buy these anywhere in the world other than Japan. But these are the Kumano Fude Select Shop brushes. These are beautiful. I really don't know much about these. I don't know if I'll be able to find the price of them, but look, I'm going to talk about them because you're going to notice that in this video, pretty much all of the brushes that are my Luxe brushes are Japanese, and they just make the best fucking brushes on the face of the planet. So I did pick these up in Japan. I bought them at a train station. So this one here, no name, I'm not sure what it is. I will try and find out. But it's basically like an oval blush brush, and that is what I use this for, and it is so soft. Oh my god, it's just, I have no idea what hair this is. Maybe squirrel, maybe goat, maybe angels, but it is beautiful. If you do travel to Japan and you see these gorgeous matte red handles in your travels, do stop and have a look and have a feel. The next one I have is actually a blending brush. This one is very thin, which I like from a blending brush, but it doesn't have that like the tapered tip. It is very rounded, so it is a good one for like sort of blowing out or buffing shadow outwards to make things more smoky and bigger. This is the type of brush that I use when I don't want to keep things super contained. I want to sort of blend them out further than where I've put them. So beautiful. I'd say that that is a goat hair brush. Oh, it's so soft. Next up, I have the Tom Ford O2 Cream Foundation Brush. Again, this is one that I use for foundation. Comparison in size to the Rae Morris, so you can see it's smaller, but the shapes are very similar. The hairs are similar as well. I'd say that the Tom Ford brush is goat, but I have not been able to confirm that online, so I'm just taking an educated guess on that. I really love this brush. Again, just beautiful, beautiful, flawless application. However, this is another one that sheds, and it sheds every single time I use it. It doesn't shed when I wash it. It only sheds when I am applying foundation to my face. So if shedding when applying a foundation is going to absolutely drive you insane and really disappoint you, and it's a deal breaker, I would avoid both the Rae Morris and the Tom Ford because they will piss you right off. But I love it. I love you. All right, let's do Hakuhodo. This might take a while. Get comfy. So Hakuhodo is a Japanese brand, and it is available in Japan and globally. Now, if you're in Japan, you can go to department stores, and they also have flagship stores and smaller stores that you can shop for the brushes in person. Now, if you live in Japan or you are traveling to Japan and you want to buy Hakuhodo brushes, I would 100% recommend that you shop for them in store, because two reasons. If you're traveling there, you can get duty-free brushes, like you can get tax back on them if you're traveling, so you will save a little bit of money. If you live in Japan, you can't do that, but buying brushes is going to be so much easier for you from the Hakuhodo range if you are doing it in person. You can see the brush shape, you can see the size, you can feel the texture, you can see if the bristles are firm or soft, or you know, if they've got a little bit of flexibility, lots of flexibility, is it dense, is it not? Like, there's so many things that you can discover about a brush in person. So 100%, if you are traveling to Japan or you live in Japan, buy your brushes in person when shopping Hakuhodo. It's got nothing to do with quality. You will always be pleased with the quality. The quality is outstanding, but shopping for them will be so much easier, because if you live anywhere else in the world, these are available to you, but only online. Now, they have two websites. They've got the Japanese website where only people from Japan can shop the brushes, and then they have the US website. Now, they vary. On the Japanese website, it's really cool, and I don't want to go too much into this. I might even do like a Hakuhodo online buying guide, but on the Japanese website, you can actually choose your handle type. So you can choose like how long it is. They've got different lengths of handles. You can have them engraved. You can choose colors. Like, it's really, really cool. You don't have that option on the US website. From what I can tell on the US website, they only stock the longer handles and some of the like medium handles. I think that's, yeah. You can't choose your handle on the US website, basically. Now when, oh God, There's a lot that goes into Hakuhodo, all right? When you're shopping online, they have so many different ranges. So they have like the S range and the S110 range. They've got the B range, the J range, the G range, the small eye with the dash range. Like, there are so many different ranges of brushes, and they are different for different reasons. And without going into it too much, like, let's say you want something from the S range, which is this one. I'll talk about it a bit more, but it's so expensive. If you go to the S100 range, you can get the exact same brush. It just doesn't look, it doesn't have the vermilion handle. It's black, but it's the exact same brush and it's a bit cheaper. So there is so much that, like, Hakuhodo will confuse the shit out of you if you are not already familiar with the range. So yeah, I might do a buying guide. If you guys want to see that, let me know, and I can go really into depth about it, but it's too much. It's too much for one video. It's too much for this video. Starting with my favorite base brushes from Hakuhodo. I've got these two. So these are the G5556 and 5552. This 5556 is a big one, 5552 is a small one, and there is another one in the range, maybe even two. I can't remember. Anyway, I bought a larger one and a smaller one. Larger one for foundation, smaller one also for foundation, but mostly for like under eye type work. There is also these two. Now, let me explain here. I've got the B125R, which is this one, and I've got the B125. Now, completely different brushes. They look the same, but they're completely fucking different. So the 125R also has synthetic bristles in it, similar to these guys, which make them suitable for applying cream and liquid products. The 125 does not and should never be used with liquids or creams. If you look at them up close, you might find, or you might be able to see that the R, which is, the R is this one here. At the tip, it looks a little bit more diffused. It looks like little hairs come up just a little bit higher, and they doesn't look as dense. They are your synthetic hairs, and that's what's going to protect the natural bristles that are mixed with this, to like protect them from full-on liquid and cream product assault. So you get the same sort of blend that you would get with a natural hair brush, like 100% natural hair, but you're not damaging it. And that is the same as what happens with these guys. So they are a synthetic and natural hair blend, and they are amazing. And you know what else? You're gonna get the same result as the Tom Ford and the Rae Morris without the shedding. So these guys are actually much newer to my collection, and the first time I used them, I was just like, holy shit, best buy of the year. Absolutely amazing. So what I use them for is large foundation jobs, under eye blending jobs, and this one I actually use to apply concealer under my eyes. I have taken this smaller one, dipped it into a pot of concealer, swirled it around, and then like stippled and blended under my eyes. It works fine. It's just not quite as precise as the 125R from the B range. Powder type brushes. So I've got the S110. So this is Hakuhodo's like top of the range. What you have here are, I believe this is goat hair. I will correct myself if it's not. You have a 24 karat gold plated ferrule, and they are also coated, so it will prevent scratching because gold is very soft. Then you have the vermilion handle, and look, I've got to say, they're just like, these brushes are beautiful. very expensive but beautiful, and I wanted one in my collection, so I picked this up in Japan. I use this for pretty much any large powdering job. Face powder, even under the eye, because it does come to a nice sort of tapered tip at the very top. Blush, bronzer, highlighter, all of it. You can do all of it with this brush. So I really like that one. Another one is the B531. Oh my God, this feels so soft. Like, I can't even tell you how soft this is. Now, the B range is Hakuhodo's basic range. And they're not basic, I can assure you. These are not basic brushes. These are fancy as fuck and amazing brushes. But the basic range is designed to help people shop for brushes who aren't really sure like what to buy, basically. So they take brushes, some of the most popular brushes and easy to use brushes from the whole Hakuhodo collection, and they call them a B, or put them in the B range. So this is a 531. It is an angled fluffy brush, and I mostly use this for powder and bronzing because it's nice and big, beautiful and soft. You get amazing diffusion of color with these brushes. If you want a large powder brush from Hakuhodo, this is the largest one that I own from Hakuhodo. There might be bigger ones, I'm not sure. That is a good one. You can see it's quite big. So if you're into large powder brushes, that's a good one. These two brushes here I use mostly for bronzing and contouring, and they're both from the B line. We've got a 505 and a 512. So the 505 is this guy, and it is, you know, an oval brush that is a bit thinner at one angle. I believe that this is a squirrel and goat blend along with this one here, which I'll show you in a sec. So this one, I like it for contouring because you can turn it on its side like this and you can just get a really nice sort of crisp line in there. Then you can turn it and use it to blend. Then you can use it to bronze, you can use it to apply blush. It's just all good. It's all good. The good thing about a lot of Hakuhodo brushes is that they're designed to be used for lots of jobs, not just a single job. So the shapes of them are very smart. They're kind of universal to the face. So I love that one. And this one here, the 512, is a fluffy angled brush. And you would think, can't use that for contour, but I do. It just works. I don't know why. It just works. Great for bronzing though. If that does scare you for like trying to contour with, I usually like try to use sort of the side of the brush to, you know, get in there a little bit. But you guys would have seen me using this in just doing my makeup videos. If you use a light hand, you get like dip your product in, use a light hand, it doesn't spread product everywhere. Even though it's a fluffy brush, it keeps things nice and contained to where you want to apply them. And then you can sort of sweep it if you want to buff it out even more. But I like that one because I can kind of do the whole job. I can do the bronzing, I can do the contouring, I can do all of it, and it's not a problem. B5521. So this again is, I believe, blue squirrel and goat combination. You can see it's an oval tapered brush. The taper is not too pointy, which is good. I like this for highlighting. This is like always highlighting, and you can highlight your whole face with it. You can use just the tip for smaller areas, or you can like turn it on its side and you can do big areas. Beautiful and soft, great dispersion of product, picks up product beautifully, lays it down. Great. This one, this I picked up in Japan, and this is why I say shop for Hakuhodo in person, because you might find some gems that make you go, I've never seen that before in my life, but I want to try it. This is the G6070. So this is a crazy brush. So you can see it is angled and it is fluffy. The Bristles are so flexible and so soft, not very dense at all, so it makes them even softer. This is actually a blush brush. So I picked this up in store because, one, I'd never seen a brush quite like this in my travels, and I thought, that could be really good for applying highly pigmented blushes, and sort of diffusing them a bit so it's not intense color, like looking like a clown. And because I tend to have a heavy hand when I'm applying blush anyway, I thought this could be a good brush for me, and I was 110% fucking right. This is a fantastic brush if you use blush and you have a really heavy hand, because you cannot apply too much product with this. You can totally build it up and eventually apply too much product, but the natural way that this brush picks up product and lays it down, you almost can't fuck up blush application with this. So this is just, it's genius. I love it. It's not going to be for everyone, but yeah, this is probably one of my best in-store Hakuhodo purchases. Eye brushes. So I've got two large blending brushes here. I've got the G5552. This is goat hair. And I have the, ooh, it doesn't have a name. I'm pretty sure, is it from the B range or the J range? I can't remember. I will check my receipt and I will let you know. It'll be on the screen. So this is going to be a combination of squirrel and goat, I believe. Now, these are very, very similar brushes. The cut is, I think it's pretty much exactly the same. I can't really see a difference. The flexibility of the bristles is also pretty much the same. I will say the goat squirrel combination is slightly less flexible at the tip, whereas the goat on its own is a little bit more flexible. These are great gigantic blending brushes for your eyes, basically. Now for me it's gigantic, for a lot of other people it's just going to be a standard size brush, but they are fantastic. I also really like these for highlighting. You know, I've got the small face. I've got a small face, so sometimes standard size brushes are technically large or medium brushes for me, so they're really nice. I think like everyone's got to have a large eyeshadow blending brush in their stash, and for me these kind of double as like other face brushes as well, doing detail work around the face. So I think they're fantastic, beautiful, absolutely, like, just, oh my god, I'm sorry, I know I'm saying it's beautiful, I love it, it's gorgeous, I love it, it's I sound like a broken record, but I really like, I got the passion and the feels for these brushes. Blending brushes for small eyes. All right, I know you guys are out there. I see you in the comments, especially with the last more affordable video I did. I feel you. It can be so difficult to find really, really good blending brushes for small eyes or even under eye work. So here I am. I'm going to rescue you. Now I will say all of these brushes I'm about to feature are not super, super expensive. They're like 20 something US dollars each. So that's not too bad. I mean, you do have to pay shipping on top of that, which makes it a bit painful. But if you are going to Japan or gonna make a big order, these are some things that you can look at. So I'll start with the bigger one. This is a B142. So it's just a standard, it's goat hair, standard blending brush. You've got sort of tight packed bristles at the ferrule, and then they're long, so you get that nice flexibility with them. The next one is the J146, and this is slightly smaller. So this one here, the slightly smaller one, J146. Now essentially what you have here is pretty much the same brush, just brought down a size. So a bit smaller around the tip of the ferrule, same density of bristles, slightly shorter in the bristle length, but what you're left with is the same sort of flexibility with both brushes. So depending on your eye size, because we're all different, we all have like different eye shapes and eye sizes, you might feel that the B142 is the perfect size for you, or you might think the 146 is a perfect size. For me, I like them both. They both work for me. Then we're going to go into the J5529, and again, we are literally scaling down. Now the J5529 is slightly more tapered at the tips, so they are different. Also, the bristles are more densely packed within the ferrule, which means that while they, I mean, we talked about the length having the same flexibility with the two bigger brushes, but because these bristles are packed denser, when you go to get that flexibility, it's less. It's not quite as flexible as these guys here. So while the length of the bristles is all relative to their size, you don't get that flexibility because of the density of the bristles. Again, this is a really good one for doing detail work where, like, you might want to pack something onto the outer corner and then drag it through the crease, kind of like what I've got going on here. And if you want to make sure that the bristles aren't spreading out and pushing that product out of the crease, this is the type of thing you go for. If you do want to push the color out of the crease more, you go for something more flexible, because the pressure that you put on the brush is going to push those hairs out a little bit, which will make it spread even more. So there you go. This one, great for under the eye, because you can apply and blend with the same brush and you're not going to have eyeshadow coming down here, making you look like a raccoon. The next one I want to show you, I have to annotate on the screen what it's called. I don't know which one it is, but it's the darker one. Now, the most obvious thing you'll notice here is that the bristles are a different hair. The white one, Goat, very soft, very smooth, beautiful. But the dark one, my God, it's, I don't know what they are, but they are so silky. It's amazing. Now, the difference here is the white one is, there's less flexibility, whereas the dark one has much more flexibility. So the hairs are about the same length, but they're less dense. So yeah, look, Hakuhodo has an insane range of like blending brushes and eyeshadow brushes, and they're all suitable for different jobs. And on their website you can see, like, you know, the length of bristles, the width of the ferrule, the density of the bristles and all that stuff, and the type of bristle. So if you understand the bristles, if you know what different hairs feel like and what they're good for, it's going to make your shopping much easier. But if you don't, it's so difficult. It can be really confusing, and sometimes it really does come down to like just learning from trial and error. But whatever you buy, you're not likely to be disappointed, because the brushes are amazing. Eyeshadow packing brushes, or paddle brushes. These are like your traditional eyeshadow application brushes, sort of all over the lid brushes. So I'll start with the J246HS. This is my fave. I've had this for a really long time and I just love it. I use it all the time. And look, you're not supposed to use this with products that are wet, so you shouldn't be wetting this brush and dipping it into pigment or anything like that, but I do. I do it all the time, and I use this constantly. You would have seen it in just doing my makeup videos, and just look at it. Like, it's good as the day I bought it. It's fantastic. It is Hakuhodo brushes. Like, they'll tell you how to look after your brushes and stuff like that, and they'll be like, don't use, you know, heavy detergents and stuff like that. And look, I don't always follow that rule, but I do try to be very careful about how I clean my brushes, but they just hold up so well. Like, these are, I think they're designed to last a lifetime if you look after them properly. They're fucking fantastic. Anyway, this is my like all-time favorite eyeshadow brush because it is so small. So if we look at it in comparison to my eye, you can see it's quite small. the reason I like this is because I can pretty much do almost every job with my eye with the one brush. So I can pack color all over the eyelid and I can do it quite quickly. If you tip it this way and apply like this, it goes on really quickly. Then I can like take the very tip of the brush, I can dip it in a pigment or a shimmer or a glitter or whatever I want, and I can go straight into the inner corner, and I don't have to worry about anything going anywhere that I don't want it to go. It offers precision because it's got that nice tapered tip. Then I can take a color, run it under my lower lash line and blend with it. It's not so stiff that you can't get those bristles to be flexible across the skin and like move the pigment or the shadow or whatever you're using. So it's kind of like, it's a bit of an all-rounder for me when it comes to doing my eyes. The only thing I can't do with this is blend out my eyeshadow. I can't like, yeah, it doesn't work. It's not designed to do that. So obviously I'm not mad at it, but I just love it. It's fantastic. If you've got small eyes, the J246HS is a very, very good one. The next ones I have are the J242HS, which is the longer one with the darker bristles, and I have the B004G, which is the shorter one, and it's white. Now, the shorter one is an example of the different types of handles that you can get when you're purchasing in Japan. So that is one that I purchased while I was in Japan. And from what I know, and I haven't been able to 100% confirm this, but I believe the longer handles are only available in the US. As in, like, that's your only option. Whereas in Japan, you can have the longer handle, you can have the shorter handle, you can have, like, fucking, they got choices. They got choices for you. So that's a little example of that. Now, both of these brushes are fantastic. They're both great. These, I would consider these medium eyeshadow packing brushes. So you can see there compared to the size of my eyelid. And they both work fantastically. The white one is goat hair and it is not quite as densely packed, so it's got really nice flexibility on the tip. And then the darker one is much more densely packed, and also the bristles are simply firmer, not harder or scratchier or anything like that. They just don't have as much natural flexibility to them. So that one is a little bit I don't know, just, I'm going to use the word stiffer, but don't take that as like it's not soft and amazing. It is soft and amazing. It's just a bit stiffer in the bristles. And the last one, oh my God, this, Jesus. This is the S5523A. Wow. Okay, so let me get up there and show you. Now you might notice that this one has a gold ferrule. Why, Hayley? Why is it special? Well, that is because earlier when I was talking about their S range, I said that they have an S100 range, and this is it. This is one of the brushes from the S100 range. So you can buy this brush, this exact brush. It is exactly the same. The only difference is the handle is the vermilion handle. But if you buy it in the S range, you get a black handle, still got the 24 karat gold plated ferrule. It's just cheaper because the handle's going to set you back a little bit more. Probably because it's Hakuhodo's signature. It's a thing. But this one in particular, I was concerned about buying this because of the size of it. If you see there, it's pretty much almost the size of my eyelid. It's not a big brush by any means. On most people, this would just be a normal size eyeshadow brush. But for me, it is quite big. But I'm so glad I bought this. I don't know what it is, but this picks up eyeshadows so beautifully. I just love it. It's like, I kind of want to eat it. I like it so much I want to consume it. That's really weird, but that is actually how I feel about it. So yeah, that is the S100 range, and I want more from this range because I want more from this range. It's getting to that time in the day where my birds are getting ready to go to bed, so they get really noisy. So you're gonna hear them. All right, this one here is so cute. It is the smallest pencil brush I have ever seen in my life. I don't actually know what this one is called. It'll be on the screen. It's not printed on the handle. I just, like, this is what Hakuhodo can offer you. If you need a tiny, tiny brush, Hakuhodo can give you a tiny, tiny brush. Like, tiny. Like, look at this. Look at how small that is. It's tiny. If you're wondering, Hayley, what the fuck do you use that for? Mostly like under eye work and inner corner work and stuff like that. Also, taking it along your lash line after you've laid down like a gel liner, really good for buffing it out. This is a goat hair brush though, so you know, they don't recommend using creams or gels or liquids. But also you can just take like eyeshadow and like buff it along the lash line. So good. So good. Eyeliner brushes. Now, I have two from Hakuhodo. I'll talk about this one first. This is the J241H, and this is a flat eyeliner brush. So you can see it there. It's flat. It's a flat eyeliner brush. Now, you can totally use this to like line your eyes in a stamping motion. I actually use this to tight line. So I'll just, you know, pack my product or my brush with product, lift up the lash a little bit, or the lid a little bit, so that you get the lash line away from your actual eye, and then I just take the brush and like push product up onto the tight line, the lash line, and like into the lashes, so tight lining the eye. It's a very interesting little brush. It is horsehair, so actually quite nice and soft, and yeah, horsehair is like, it's surprisingly soft. If you've, actually I shouldn't say it's surprisingly soft, because you see those horses and they're like, their hair glistens, you know that shit is soft. But yeah, if you've ever like ran your hand down a horse in the direction of hair growth and you feel how soft and silky it is, it's actually what this brush feels like when you like, you know, brush it on your finger. It's a nice little brush. But again, kind of unusual shape, but very effective. Next is an eyeliner brush. This is the 3-0 PH brush. Now these are all, I think they're from the Artistic Pro line. Now these are brushes that is designed for detail work and eyelining. Now when you are buying a brush from this range that is designed for applying eyeliner, only buy the PH line. So you might have a brush that's like, this one is 3-0 PH. Then there's like the O range, there's a 6 range. The numbers represent the width of the brush, so how thick the brush is. Then you've got SML that'll come straight after the number, and that represents whether it's a small, medium or large brush. And then you've got P, PH and PS. Now, PH stands for, they're the hard ones, and they are designed to apply makeup to the face. The PS range is a soft range that is designed for like painting and artwork, nail art, and the P range is a standard. They can all be used for eyeliner if you want to, but at the end of the day, you are using these brushes for a very specific reason. These are designed for eyelining, and you want them, like, they've all been created to be very specific in what they're used to apply. So if you're going to buy one of these eyeliner brushes, go for one that ends in PH, and the rest you can choose based off your personal preferences. Do you like a thicker brush? Do you like a longer brush? What do you like? Have a look at the pictures, but make sure it ends in PH. Now, saying that it's a hard brush, it's not really hard. It does have a lot of flexibility, but the bristles are a little bit stiffer, so they're not going to like splay when they touch your eyelid, they're not going to go whoosh and spread fucking eyeliner all over your face, which is definitely something you don't want to do after you've just applied all of your eyeshadow. So definitely go with the pH range. If I do a shopping sort of guide to Hakuhodo brushes, I'll talk more about that. But yeah, that's the basics of it. Alright guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I hope you learned something. That's the goal, to help to educate and empower you to make good purchasing decisions when it comes to buying brushes like these very expensive babies. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what your favorite luxury brushes are, or even like fail luxury brushes. Do you have any luxury brushes that you're just like, this is literally a piece of crap? Feel free to let me know down in the comments. And I think that's it. Until next time, bye.